with Janice Cobb of Save My Pet ID Tag. Engraved with your pet's info, they allow emergency personnel to store care for your pets if you're sick or injured. Head over to SaveMyPetIDTag.com and explore products. They ensure peace of mind for you and for your four-legged family.
Our first guest, they're going to give us the real scoop on litter. They have created a litter that cats really dig and use. It's also made of materials that are very kind to our planet. We're going to learn about their story. So please, at this time, welcome to our show, the creators of Soy Kitty. We're talking about Ashley Halick and Lee Kaufman. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
And
Nice
for
to be
those
here.
who see our show on YouTube, Lee, your shirt is meobalus. It's full of cats. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I love the name Soy Kitty. So you've got two entrepreneurs on our show, and we've got a lot of entrepreneurs that tune into our show. So we're going to ask Ashley first. Soy Kitty? That's an unusual name. What does that mean? How did you come to name your company Soy Kitty?
Well, actually, it was Lee that thought of it.
Well, Lee, you want to step
One
in,
day
Lee?
we were sitting at my table and we were talking about this idea, and our product is made of the byproducts of soybeans. That's one of the ingredients in our litter. And we were just chatting, and Lee's kind of punny. So he's like, what about Soy Kitty? Because soy also means I am in Spanish, and we live in Oaxaca, Mexico. So
that's true.
Words.
I am struggling with Spanish on Duolingo. I do sound Italian, but yes, soy, S-O-Y, is I am. There you go. Mystery solved. So, Lee, how did a man wearing a cat shirt what were you doing before you and Ashley came up with this very earth-friendly litter?
A bunch of things, Arden, but really, no, in truth, I was an entrepreneur and a business person for about 10 years. I taught yoga for about 15 years as my primary profession.
Wow.
And then kind of back into the business world. And Ashley and I were, strangely enough, neighbors. So we got to know each other by living next door to each other and having barbecues and talking about life and work. And I got to hear Ashley talk about all of the companies that she was working for that were maybe not run so effectively. I'm paraphrasing because she would have said things maybe like a true Midwesterner.
Hey,
that they weren't run so well. They didn't take care of their employees. They didn't have a message that they believed in. And she said, I want to do this. I want to create something that's mine, something that I can advocate for, something that I can lead and own and treat people well. And then 2, 3, 4 years later, she said, let's do this.
I like it. I like it. And why part of this purpose is, yes, to talk about that it's about time we have litter that is kind of the planet and that cats really do use. Pet Safety Cat Casey is a big fan of Soy Kitty, but it's also about diving in. You have an idea and you need to go from idea to the store. So Ashley, it's a long process. Is there some tips you can offer others that are thinking about creating a product, launching a product, distributing it? Oh my gosh, I think I'll stick with hosting this show.
Yeah, my advice may be a little different than most entrepreneurs, but that's how I roll. I think you truly have to be passionate, in my mind, about what you're doing. I'm obsessed with cats. Like, they are my life. They are my babies. I am here because of them. And so I wanted to create things and create a business that betters their lives, and not just theirs, like cats in general. I'm that typical lady who sees a cat and I'm like, oh my God, even if I've seen 100 in the same day. So be passionate about what you're doing. It's not going to be easy. Like, know that there are going to be roadblocks. There are going to be challenges, but that's part of it. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. That's how you be better and do better. So just know that there will be challenges. And
Was there some things in previous jobs where you were working, getting a W-2, that you said, this will work and this won't work when I launch my own?
yeah, I think one of the most important things is to create an environment that allows your employees or the people that you work with to thrive.
Okay, good.
To not micromanage, to not tell them what to do, to hire them for their skills and their capabilities and their potential, and then get out of the way. Allow them to do it and help them get there.
I like that. Now, I
Probably
see
the
the cat tree in your background, so I know you're not probably using it, and I know the ones that are listening to the show, it would be very rude if you didn't introduce who you have that purr.
So I'm now a cat lady of 5 kitties.
Wow.
Different from the last time we spoke.
Okay.
I have Vinny and Veda. They're my gingers, and they've been with me for 11 years. They're all rescues. And then I have Jackie and Joey. I adopted them in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. They were actually a foster fail. They're 4. And then my most recent baby is Ellie. She's 4 months, 5 months. Someone just dropped her off in my driveway.
Oh,
at
how are
6
they all getting along?
Oh my God, they're best friends.
Okay.
It's so funny to watch them. It's adorable.
From someone who has written the cat behavior answer book, I want to tell you one thing. The first year you have it with a kitten, we call it the wonder year because you're wondering where your sanity is going. How are you doing with Ellie?
She's awesome. I'm lucky she has brothers that are young and that play with her, and they climb trees and they run and they jump and they chase bugs. So she's a gem. I'm very lucky.
And I know, Lee, last time I spoke with you, you have dogs, don't you?
Yeah.
Willow and Callie, how are they doing with you being a cat daddy?
They're good. I have 0 cats. Like, I feel like I'm at some sort of like
That happened.
a group circle telling my honest truth. I have 2 dogs. They're about 20 kilos each. Both of them were street dogs that I guess they were also foster fails, but I was ready to have
Can we
puppies.
change the verbiage? I'm on a mission. Whenever you foster and end up adopting, let's make it positive. Why don't you call yourself a foster success?
Okay.
Because
It
you
was a
know
suc-
this is a good fit.
It was a success for Pio and Kali, that's for sure. They get good food every day. They get a nice place to sleep. They get a new baby to play with. Yeah. So,
Yeah, you have a little girl, Maya, right?
yeah, she just turned 7 months.
Well, congratulations. So we're wanting to talk a little bit about cat litter because there was a guy years ago named Edward Lowe, and he's credited with creating cat litter for indoor cats. That was back in the 30s, I guess, if you ever get asked that on a Jeopardy questions. But we've come a long way, Kitty, haven't we? And litter has been made out of many things. It gathers dust. You got to have a really strong vacuum cleaner. It smells, all that stuff. I want to ask you, Ashley, what are some of the concerns that you've had with traditional cat litter that led you and Lee to create Soy Kitty?
Yeah. I think the 2 biggest problems I've ran into is 1, internal blockages. So I typically used clay, clumping clay, and as kitties clean themselves, unfortunately, sometimes clay gets in their system and it expands, and sometimes it leads to internal blockages. I've had 2. 2 of my cats have had internal blockages. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
it.
my sister has a dog that decided to visit the litter box and had to go to the vet for abdominal obstruction surgery. So it can happen to the dogs thinking these little prizes in the box are treats.
For sure. So cats and dogs can suffer internal blockages. And then the other thing is issues with dust. My kitty Jackie especially has asthma and a really sensitive respiratory system. And mine isn't the best, but the problem we run into, especially with clay litters or even corn and wheat, is super dusty and it irritates the lungs and the whole respiratory system. So those are the 2 biggest obstacles, I would say, that most cat parents run into from a health standpoint.
All right. Hey, everyone. We're speaking with Ashley Halick and Lee Kaufman. They are the inventor of Soy Kitty. It's a very plant-based, planet-friendly cat litter. We're going to talk more about that, but we got to take a quick break. And you guys know the drill. Sit, her. We'll be right back.
Pet Greens just donated a large amount of catnip and cat grass to Beagle Freedom Project, who recently just converted an animal testing lab into an animal sanctuary called Freedom Fields. Giving cats in a rescue access to cat grass and catnip can really help with their mood or acclimating if they came from outside to inside. And reducing a cat's anxiety really helps their chances of getting adopted. If you'd like to learn more about Pet Greens, or if you're a nonprofit and would like to request some cat grass for your sanctuary, please visit petgreens.com.
Arden Moore here with some great news. I have not one, but 2 calendars coming out in 2025. Order yours now. For my feline friends, it is How to Speak Cat. You're going to learn why and how cats purr and how do they really talk using their tails. For my dog folks, we got How to Speak Dog. Why do dogs dig to dig? And what does it mean when they go belly up? What does it really mean when they're giving you doggy kisses? Answers are here. Get your paws on the calendars today. Go to Amazon.com or click on this QR code. Paws up. We are speaking with a couple of entrepreneur inventors who are trying to do their best for cats on the planet. They came up, it's pretty new. It's called Soy Kitty, and it is a plant-based, planet-friendly cat litter. I'm looking at this. Soybeans, gargum, cornstarch. I don't think I will make muffins out of that one, Lee. Tell us about, how did you guys think of these ingredients? And I understand that the pellets come in different sizes so you can absorb. It absorbs the pee, to put it succinctly.
So before we went to break, Ashley was talking about obstructions and blockages that are typical of clay. And so everything in our product is theoretically edible. You wouldn't necessarily want to make your primary diet out of it.
No.
But a cat or a dog could ingest it and they would be perfectly fine. In Asia, there's a huge population that uses soy and beans as a part of their diet.
Right.
And so they have byproduct that comes off of that they decided to turn into litter and mix it with a few other ingredients that make it more absorbent and binding. So we just looked at that and said, gosh, there's so many people that are using things that are effective, more effective, but also not detrimental to the planet. And so why don't we introduce this in the US and try to proliferate it a bit more so that people don't continue to use products that are typically strip mined and really hard to dispose of. Whereas ours is theoretically easy to dispose of and a bit renewable in terms of being food-based.
Well, there's another thing I'm going to shout out to everybody. When you go to find litter, I know you think it will be better if it has a scent to it because it will make you smell good, but cats hate perfume. They hate anything that is disguising their bathroom. Can you talk about that a little bit, Ashley? Because that's a no. You want a litter box boycott? Get one that has perfume or some other citrus, or especially citrus scented. Mm-hmm. Cats don't like that, right?
That will repel cats.
Yeah. I'm out of here. I'm using your bed now.
Yes, for sure. No, you're completely right. Cats have very sensitive noses, 14 times stronger than ours. So the more natural, the better in terms of litter. So we are hoping by the end of Q1 of 2025, we will have our unscented litter ready for deployment and to be purchased. Right now, we do have a lightly green tea scented litter. It's a natural scent.
Well, it's better than, citrus.
For sure. It's really earthy and it's very subtle. So the less scent you have, the better, because cats actually like to smell their own scent. So if you have something that is really potent and they can't smell their own scent, they're going to get really angry. And it could turn them away from the litter box in general if the smell is too overpowering. So
I love talking about pee and poop. It's one of my favorite things. Lee, what about how you scoop it? Do you put it in a bag and dispose it? How do you get rid of the used Soy Kitty?
I was
litter?
just thinking about pee and poop and having a newborn. It's like you get
Yeah.
so accustomed to it. It's just part of your day to day.
Yes, it is, Daddy.
Yeah. So the cool thing about our litter and litters in general that are made similarly is that before the water waste gets to the bottom, it tends to clump and bind and turn
Good.
into almost balls of waste that you can scoop easily. So you just simply put your scoop down, shake it out like you would in normal litter. It's quite bound, and you could theoretically put it into the toilet, and a few minutes later it'll biodegrade and you could flush it as long as you don't have a risk of toxoplasmosis, which for indoor cats, they don't have a risk.
Right.
So no different than other litters, except that maybe it tends to absorb quicker. It tends to be more easy to handle, doesn't tend to sort of bind to the side of the litter boxes. All the things that I think people really get a bit disgusted about with cats, our litter tends to mitigate that quite a bit.
Okay.
And one other thing.
Go ahead, Ashley.
If you don't feel comfortable flushing the litter down the toilet, whether it be regulations you're worried about or polluting water, whatever you believe, if that isn't a go for you, you can also compost your litter and use litter in a non-edible garden. So if you have a flower garden or shrubs
Yeah.
or something, it's a great natural way for fertilizer for your garden.
I wonder too if the scent of the cats that had used the litter in your petunias will maybe say to trespassing critters, I don't think we're going to go to Ashley's house. It smells like there's 5 cats that are in the garden right now. I think I'm going to go to maybe Lee's house because he has dogs.
It's
But
a
it
great marketing idea. It keeps all deer away, all sort of possums,
Rodents.
everything that could eat anything.
It is. It's you probably are both scared and excited, I'm assuming, because you're putting your heart, soul, and wallet into this product. And the reason I had you on is because people are always thinking about inventing products. It's getting the distribution. You were speaking first now. How is it available? How can we get our paws on it? And you have some good news, I guess, Ashley, for first quarter of 25.
Yeah, so if you're interested in trying out our litter, you can go to our website, soykitty.com. It's available to the contiguous United States, so the 48 states. So you can place an order there. And then, like I mentioned previously, we are hoping by the end of Q1 of 2025 to have our unscented litter ready for distribution. That's the goal.
That's hard, isn't it? I mean, it's one thing to invent a product. It's another thing to cover that hurdle to get it in stores or Amazon or all those. Any tips you could offer on that, Lee, that you guys feel pretty excited about Soy Kitty getting more
I think
available?
I just wanted to say, for the business owners, the other distribution channels aren't always as advantageous and profitable, and so they can be a struggle. And from the very beginning, we like to direct connection with our consumers.
Okay,
We like to
good.
know who they are. We like to know who their cats are. We like to know how they interact with our litter. We want to have them as a part of the extended family. And so there is a bit of a differential once you go into an Amazon marketplace or when you start going through distributors. So at least for the time being, our hope is to grow the business as a direct-to-consumer business, where we are connecting one-on-one with the people that are supporting us and one-on-one with the people that we're supporting.
So where do you see yourselves with Soy Kitty in the next 5 years? Who wants to go first? Raise a paw.
I'll go first, and I know Ashley may answer it even more passionately.
Okay.
We're growing slowly and organically, which a lot of people get bored and frustrated by, but it's actually probably really good business sense. So I'm trying to keep everything constrained and thoughtful and done in
Good.
ways that are scalable. And at some point, we'll open the engine up and things will move more quickly. But right now, we're just sort of building slowly and slowly. As long as we continue to do that, and as long as the litter is good and we have yet to receive negative feedback, and most of the people that start buying it continue to buy it and are happy, we know we're going to be able to continue and build a customer base.
Okay.
I think Ashley probably has plans to expand into other ideas because she loves cats and because she wants the ecosystem to be even more holistic and well-rounded as far as cats go. So I'll let her keep going.
Okay. Yeah, we have about a minute left. Ashley, go for it.
Yeah, I think from a litter standpoint, I would love to get to a point where we are manufacturing the product in North America. So we are starting the process of reformulation. So finding a partner to do a reformulation of the litter. So we would like to manufacture the product in North America. So that would be a huge win for us. And then once we have that process set up, I think we would like to get into wholesale and maybe white labeling so we can get this product into more hands via various brands. I would love to also have other products, but we're going to stick with
We'll
one.
have to have you on the show next time for that because I know you got ideas. Well, it also sounds like you are being slow and steady, which is a very good tip for people with an idea because you can go too fast too soon and oops, right?
For sure.
We meet lots of entrepreneurs that take on a lot of capital and they don't know how to run a business and they get into trouble really quickly. And so the intention was always to go slow, to make the right decisions, to make less bad decisions, and to let the consumer help dictate our process.
And my cat, pet safety cat, Casey, he always wants to ask a final question. So just a moment. Hey, pause up, Ashley. Pause up, Lee. It's Casey here, pet safety cat Casey, speaking on behalf of all fine felines. I just want to ask you one question each. What cat superpower do you wish you could have and why? Let's start with Ashley.
Sleep all day.
Lee? Okay, Mr. Lee, what would you want as a cat superpower?
I'd love to be able to instantaneously jump 10 times my height.
We'll see you on top of the refrigerator then. All right. Thank you very much.
Bye, Case.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.